All right, guys, welcome back to Mr. Post Frame. Today we're covering 4 reasons why you should use metal on your next build.
As you guys know, Paul and I self-built our Barndominium, and today we devote all of our time to helping other DIYers build their Barndominium or modern rural home. And we also encourage pros to build better, which is what led us to have a partnership over the past year with Sherwin-Williams Coil Coatings. They're the folks that make the color that goes on to your metal.
Yeah, and recently Emily and I had the privilege of going to Minneapolis where we visited their headquarters. We got to see where all of the work goes into creating these coatings, and it was absolutely amazing how much there is beyond what I thought.
Yes.
That goes into the process.
Yeah, it was a super fun day learning about how it applies to us in our industry, but also how coil coatings is in so many different industries that all of you guys are really familiar with.
All right, guys, so the first reason that we love metal is because of its durability.
Yeah, durability with the metal as a product as well as the coating from Sherwin-Williams on it is something that we love. It is going to be more resistant to weather elements, damage, and stuff than other siding products. While metal, yes, it can get dented, that doesn't automatically mean that it's damaged and reduced its functionality on your building.
Yeah, and one thing I love about Sherwin-Williams Coil Coatings is they have a test field down in Florida where all of their coatings go to be tested and to kind of be proven in the proving grounds, you know what I mean? Down there, it's high in salt content, it's high heat, high humidity. Their test field has actually been underwater, I think he said 4 times. And that's where they test all of these and prove that they can actually function long term, which is where they get their 40-year guarantee from.
Yes, they said that there's panels there that have been sitting outside in the elements for 60 years, and you can still tell what color it is.
All right, the second reason is sustainability.
Sustainable building products are a big thing that you are seeing all over social media, but there is a lot of truth in and a lot of reasons to use a sustainable building product, not just because it's the new trend, but because it's something that you can keep on your building or home indefinitely. It is sustainable. You're not going to have to replace a metal cladding even after 20 years, 30 years. And then if you choose to remove the metal, it is a recyclable product, and it is something that you could also repurpose, making it something that doesn't have to end up in a landfill.
Yeah, and one thing that was really cool is some of Sherwin-Williams' clients are John Deere, Caterpillar, KitchenAid, and one interesting fact that I got from this is John Deere and Sherwin-Williams work together to figure out how to recycle plastic bottles and turn them into a powder coating that is the classic green and yellow that actually goes on their machines, which is pretty cool. Reason number 3 is it has a Class A fire rating.
Sherwin-Williams coil coatings are certified as a Class A fire rated product, and the metal itself is also a more fire resistant product. So if you are wanting to have a little bit of extra security when it comes to your dwelling or building, then metal is a great option for that.
Yeah, we don't necessarily live in an area like the mountains where they have forest fires, but that would be a great place to use it. But we do live in the country and we do a lot of controlled burns. So if you think about sparks or ash coming over and landing on your house, there's much less of a chance that your house could catch on fire from a situation like that.
Yes, and this makes metal cladding a product that insurance companies actually like more than some other products. So your insurance person might actually appreciate that versus some of the rumors that go around that metal clad structures are harder to insure.
All right, and reason number 4 is actually my favorite, and that is because of the low maintenance factor of metal.
Yes, you do not have to do a whole lot to take care of your metal cladding. You're not having to replace it, as we covered, because it's a sustainable product, but then you also, when you're installing it, there's not a bunch of extra caulking, there's not extra painting, you're not having to repaint it every few years because the color is wearing off. It's going to be something that you're probably going to get sick of the color sooner than it needs to be replaced, because there's a 40-year color guarantee on it as well.
Yeah, and in all honesty, whenever we get a hard rain, it pretty much kind of cleans itself. Every once in a while, probably once a year, twice a summer, I'll go through and wash underneath the porch. But outside of that, the rain kind of just keeps it clean.
Yes, it's awesome. So if you're looking for something that once it's on, you can set it and forget it, metal cladding is the option.
One of the fun things that I got out of our visit there was kind of the science behind color, and like it's just not that simple.
Now, Bryn with the team, she walked us through that science and art get combined together when it comes to creating a color, and there's so much more to it. Blue isn't just blue. Green isn't just green. There are so many different factors that go into creating a color for either a paint, a coating, other type of product.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because every color has its own code, which we use with Back 40 Buildings when we're actually rendering out people's homes. We'll use the actual color code from Sherwin-Williams so people can actually see what it would look like in real life.
Yes, yeah. And one of the really neat things, because color looks different in different lights, in different environments. And one of the things she showed us was a room that you can look at color in its truest form. So to your eye, it's going to be the most accurate, and it's painted. She said the color that they paint the room, the color of the lab coats, and everything in there is called gray matters, because that is the perfect color to look at color.
All right, so we got to go on a tour with Todd, who has been with Sherwin-Williams for, I think,
over 30 years.
Basically, as long as I've been alive. One of the coolest things on the tour is he kind of took us and told us the history of Sherwin-Williams, and it started as early as the early 1900s. But as we were going through the tour, we saw this digital print that they can do now, and it is absolutely incredible. You can basically have anything printed on your metal that you want. Like you could have a mural printed on the side of your house if you wanted.
Right. You could have Mr. Post Frame's face on your metal on your house.
That would be super weird.
It would be super weird, but it's possible. That's what's so cool about the innovation that we were able to witness, is just the detail that you can put in the coating on a coil. So that's where you're seeing like now popping up a ton of the wood grain looking products, things that are going to again be so much more low maintenance than actually putting wood cladding on, but you can get that same look.
Yeah, because everybody loves that old barnwood look, but if you actually put old barnwood on, it's just not going to last. But you can literally have that printed on your metal in a board and batten, and it looks just like it should, and it's going to last forever.
Mm-hmm. We talked with the team a ton about trends and what they're seeing come to the marketplace, because they're working with all of the big manufacturers. All the major window manufacturers are working with Sherwin-Williams coil coatings to bring to market some new colors, some updates to current colors. They want to make sure that they're moving more and more towards you can take the coil coating, the metal color on the outside of your house, and be able to bring it all the way through the inside of your house with paint and other products. And they said that you're going to be seeing hitting the markets more and more are bold colored doors. They said there's a manufacturer that's about to launch a very classic mid-century modern bright yellow, robin egg blue, things that are going to be like a permanent color. You're not having to paint it once you get your door home. It's actually going to come from the factory in these really cool bold colors. They said trends are also for the rest of the exterior of the house, softening those contrasts. So while you might have a really bold door, you're going to see softened blacks, softened whites versus the stark contrast that we've seen over the last few years. And then my favorite, your blues, your greens, those colors are going to become front and center over the next few years. So if you're looking to use some of those elements in your home, it's going to become easier and easier to find them in the market. Make sure you head down to the description for all of the resources that we offer, including our DIY group. So if you're considering self-building, self-contracting, we're the support that you need for that. And if you have any other questions about coil coatings, metal, anything like that, drop them in the comments.
And as always, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share us with your friends, and don't stop dreaming.